So I was planning to review Three Below and Wizards episode by episode, like I am doing with Troll Hunters, but I was smart and I took a look at the series and I watched all of Three Below because I realized Three Below would not be an interesting show to talk about episode by episode. I also watched all of Wizards, which would also not be interesting to talk about episode by episode. Well, actually, Wizards would be interesting, but it would be very, very, very difficult. So it'd be better to review it as a whole. So I went to. So I am not reviewing these series episode by episode. I'm going to review them here, and I will be reviewing Troll Hunters episode by episode, and then reviewing them, the series as a whole and season by season. So what do I think about Three Below? I do so okay. If you don't know what Troll Hunters is a series that is created by Guillermo del Toro and DreamWorks. DreamWorks, the animation studio who did How to Train Dragon, Shrek, stuff like that. And Three Below is a series to that, and this is a trilogy of shows on Netflix, concluding in a movie at the end of the year. Three Below had an episode of Troll Hunters. And that episode of Troll Hunters was one of the worst episodes of Troll Hunters. It wasn't horrible, but the way they just kind of threw these characters into that story, I was sitting there going, okay, why though? Like, what do they do here? Like, what's the deal with these characters? It didn't give you a good idea of what these characters were. But what these characters are, with Three Below is about, is you have two children who are the children of two rulers on an alien planet, and they crash land on Earth disguised, and they have to kind of live Earth and deal with their also alien stuff. So it's kind of like Troll Hunters, except they're aliens, and it's two characters instead of just Jim, dealing with the high school problems and the kind of more supernatural problem. The issue I have with this series is these characters are not interesting, and the way they come into play in uh, Wizards, it doesn't seem like they needed to exist at all. Because these characters are not interesting. I can't really think of character traits they have besides misunderstanding Earth stuff, um, and it's just kind of boring. The episodes here, Troll Hunters and Wizards, all these Tales of Arcadia shows, as they're called, they have all pacing issues. But this one is the worst one because, first of all, the episodes feel like they go on forever. And they're very irritating. And the humor is very loud and obnoxious. And I feel, which is weird because in the other Troll Hunter series, yeah, there was some groaner jokes or whatever, and there was humor that didn't work sometimes, but it wasn't super irritating and noxious. Well, this show I think is, and these characters just don't feel like you need to watch their story to understand anything else. Because frankly, after watching Wizards, after seeing all of Troll Hunters, I get why that's a sequel. It adds depth. It adds more to the universe than. But Three Below is like the Hobbit prequels, right? The Hobbit prequels are very long and boring, and you don't need to watch them to understand Lord of the Rings. You can watch them, and they maybe add a little bit of depth, but nothing that is necessary for you to view or understand. That's what these feel like. And so I know people like the Hobbits. Cool. I like parts of them in the same way I like parts of this show, but I don't feel like it comes together. This show's only 2 seasons long. It's about this length of one full season of Troll Hunters, and it's just not interesting. It's not funny. The animation style is about the same as Troll Hunters, but I don't like the alien designs. I just don't feel like they work very well. The characters aren't interesting. The stories aren't interesting. and they don't add and they can't really develop and change as much as they do in Troll Hunters and Wizards and those characters, and seeing where those characters go. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will tie in really heavily to the new Troll Hunters movie, Rise of the Titans. But it just does not sound like that. It doesn't sound like it's going to work out. I don't like this series, and I don't want to see more of these characters unless they tie in a way that involves them, that in a way that you could imagine the story. No, you couldn't imagine the story without them being there. Like, they're actually necessary and completely important. There isn't some writing trick that they could have written around them being there. But yeah, I just disappointing series. It's a very odd series too, because it's like set in between Troll Hunters season 2 and season 3 kind of, and then I don't know. It's a weird show in the placement of the timeline. I'm not really sure where it places, but I don't really care about this show. So